Benton Harbor Planning Commission to order. City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Hensel.
Here.
Commissioner Marshall,
Here.
Commissioner McGee, City Manager Mitchell,
Here.
Mayor Mohammed,
Present.
Commissioner Yarborough, Chairman Reed.
Present.
You have four.
This time, I would like to get a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Support.
Motion is made by Commissioner Hensel and supported by Mayor Mohammed. Would you call the roll, please?
Manager Mitchell,
Yes.
Commissioner Marshall,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Hensel,
Yes.
Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
At this time, are there any changes, or additions or deletions to the last month's meeting, March the 7th? If there are no changes or alterations, I would like to make a motion that the minutes be approved.
Support.
Motion made by the chairman and supported by city manager. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Marshall,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Hensel,
Yes.
Manager Mitchell,
Yes.
Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This time I'd like to open the meeting up for public comments. Anybody wishing to speak? Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, Mayor, my name is Mark Florian. I'm here today representing Landmark Properties Redevelopment, who is the owner of the contiguous property to this particular application located at 115 West Main Street in Benton Harbor. I'm not here today to take a position in favor of or against this particular application. Quite frankly, I am an advocate and I will continue to be an advocate of anything that brings more traffic to the downtown business corridor and more commerce and more economic development to that corridor. I do, however, have a couple of comments and perhaps a couple of questions that I would just like to pose to the commission as you deliberate this particular opportunity.
Commissioner, can we hold off on his public hearing comments till we open the public hearing, so that way it's on record for the public hearing itself?
I'm sorry, I thought this was the public
This
hearing.
is just the regular public comments.
This is not related to the new business on the agenda.
All right, I guess I misunderstood you, sir. I'll hold my comments then.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else that had general comments before the commission? Hearing none, we'll close the public comment portion and move on to agenda item number 6, new business. We have a public hearing. I'd like to open the public hearing at this time for a special use permit for the property identified as 11-544-0007-0102-03-1, commonly known as 900 El Rico Road, for the operation of an adult use recreational Class C grow facility. Do we have the applicants make a presentation?
Sure.
Hello, Commissioners. This is an application for a special use permit to increase the amount of adult use Class C licenses that we have at the facility located at 900 El Rico Road. We've attached all documentation that is necessary to move forward and are planning on utilizing the facility as is, but moving some rooms around and adding capacity. And that's all we're looking for, is for the approval to move forward with that.
So basically, you're expanding within your existing facility.
Correct. We've had limitations based on the licensing we have to the plant count that we're allowed to hold,
So
and we'd like to increase that.
You're increasing your
Correct.
licensing for your increased production.
Correct.
Have you had an opportunity to look at the facility and determine whether or not they can do this? Or is anything?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, I have been out there at their facility. What they did is they had a few medical grow licenses. They released one of their medical grows in order to obtain an adult use grow. And the area that they're using, their numbers from what, if I'm correct still, the numbers won't exceed, it would stay under a certain amount for each grow that they're have the capability of doing. It won't exceed that number. So yes, I have been there and seen their facility. I don't want to say the numbers right off because I'd be going off the top of my head, but
The adult user allow for 1,500 plants to be grown per license. The medical, I believe, were 2,000. So in releasing the 2,000 and adding and again, I'm not certain on the 2,000, but releasing the medical and adding the adult use allow us to utilize the product as recreational rather than medical only. So it won't exceed the total plant count that we were utilizing beforehand. It's just a shift in what the licenses are.
Members of the commission wish to ask questions?
I just want to clarify, it's 1,500 whether it's medical or adult use.
Yes, that was my understanding.
Yeah.
I didn't hear your name.
My name is Aaron Witters. I'm the Vice President of Operations for Nobo Incorporated.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Nice.
could he provide a card for the city?
I can get you a card. I don't have one on me, to be quite honest. I have one at the office.
Any additional questions of the Commissioner Henry?
Thank you. Let me get this straight. You applied for a medical marijuana license,
Yes,
then you applied for a recreational license.
correct.
So you want to take your medical license and turn it into recreation.
Correct.
How would you treat the medical marijuana patients?
We will still supply medical marijuana, and we've maintained our medical recreational or retail licensing so that we can still supply medical customers with third-party products that we purchase and sell as medical only. We won't be cultivating our own medical as the market has shifted to the point where profitability and, the use of those plants was very seriously hindered with the amount of revenue that medical produces compared to the recreational. So we will still be providing medical products at the discounted rates and at the higher percentages or higher carry amounts that they can take out of the stores from our retail locations. It just won't be in our cultivation anymore.
Where will you get your product from?
We will buy it from other medical distributors in the state that have maintained their medical licensing. So if there's another cultivator that hasn't moved to release their medical, they'll still have medical products for sale that are under medical licensing. And we will buy those as medical products and sell them out of retail at medical. So they'll be supplied the same product lines. It just won't be produced by the same people.
Oh, sorry.
Just let me absorb that and you go on. Please.
Is there a difference between the medical marijuana and recreational?
So
Or is
let,
it in the processing it?
so let me clarify a couple things. I think it might be getting twisted up a little bit. My name is Kathy Pyle. I help oversee Michigan, some of our operations here and some of our retail stores as well. So one thing that the state of Michigan has done is they have shifted from medical and recreational to strictly medical with thought of 200 milligram products out of recreational. So before you could only buy up to 200 milligram products on the medical side. Now they've offered it to the recreational side. And by doing so, people are no longer needing to have a medical card to purchase that higher dosage product for their medical use. So that's one thing that the state of Michigan has realized. And so the number of licenses have dropped considerably for medical because everyone is shifting over to recreational. There are other states that are also looking at doing the same thing as lowering their counts of medical licenses because it's, for one, it's easier to maintain one type of a license. And I can see Michigan moving to that as a whole. One thing also to keep in mind is that we still are growing quality product. Nothing's changing. Whether it was listed as a medical product or a recreational use product, it's the same product. So it didn't have a category of just because it said it was medical, it was just grown under that license. Didn't mean it was any different from something else. So on the side of having our products, we still have a medical license and we will keep that license so that we can continue having it. We had 2 licenses and we're down to 1. So that's part of where we still have a medical license and that license will stay there for now. We're just adding another adult use so that we can increase the count so that we can offer to more people what we're growing. That helps a little bit?
I understood that perfectly.
Perfect.
Profit over medicine. That's what I see. You guys see, and if the system, if it keeps flowing like that, you want to cut your medical, they want to cut their medical.
Mhm.
Our recreational portion is getting stronger and stronger.
Mhm.
This is exactly what the opponents for the medical said it was going to happen.
Mhm.
That you guys were going to be so greedy that you were going to
Point
shut.
of order, Mr. Chair.
What is
We
it?
can't have people being berated or name calling.
I can give my opinion on
There's a
anything
code of
that I want.
conduct that
And
we have to abide by.
ask the
Mr.
chair.
And we cannot use derogatory or subjective language as we relate to presenters or developers.
Okay,
Limit your
I'll give
questions
you-
to
I'll give
things
you
that
my
they can
apology.
answer.
I'll give you my apology for my opinion, but I'm gonna go right back to the bottom line
Mhm.
is that the recreational marijuana is getting stronger and stronger.
Mhm.
And you're cutting out the medical, which is what the people needed.
Mhm.
And it's a process, not just with you, other companies are doing the same thing. Then I have to look at 2 other things. Revenue,
Commissioner,
okay,
speak to the issue.
I'm speaking to the issue of what they're asking and the bottom line of what's gonna happen if they get what they want or they don't get what they want. I'm getting to the bottom of it.
The marijuana laws allow stacking. So
I know they do,
they can.
but it's to our discretion if we allow stacking or not. It doesn't say because this stacking is available that we have to allow it. And I'm saying from the human part of marijuana and the effects that it has on younger people,
This is not an issue for this commission.
okay,
Sorry.
all right.
We
I already
do-
heard our guy said they can do whatever they want to.
Are you done?
Yeah,
Commissioner Marshall?
We do respect your opinion.
We do.
I'm looking at this picture of your facility.
Yes,
Is this the current facility?
that is the current facility.
Beautiful facility.
Thank you.
Let me see, am I getting this right? You made the statement, or Ms. Paul, you made the statement that the strength and essence of the recreation and the medical is identical.
Same,
Correct.
identical.
And what happened was when they used to have a differentiator. So the medical was 200 milligram Since the state changed that, there's a fee associated to our customers to become a medical patient. They've foregone paying that fee and started purchasing recreationally because it's cheaper for the customers and the consumers to get the products to them, not being medical patients, versus going through the extra steps that it requires them to become a medical patient. And since the state relieved the difference between medical and recreational, most consumers are not taking that extra step to become medical anymore.
So I guess what I'm hearing you say is there is really no difference.
Correct.
Correct.
The product is basically the same.
Identical.
The exact same thing.
Exactly.
Correct. It's the exact, it just depends on what license it is processed under.
What little tag goes on it according to the license is what differentiates it. Other than that, they can be they're right there. Same exact product.
So we can grow two plants, one medical and one recreational, and then they go to the same products, but the medical goes to, they just follow through.
I hear my colleague and I feel my colleagues.
I
when she say
understand.
that
Yes.
You can't forget about. the
Well,
least
absolutely.
for product. I understand that and I appreciate her reading that out, but what I'm hearing you say is that there's no changes.
There's no changes. The products remain the same. The availability to the consumer is going to remain the same.
Or grow.
And the grow is going to remain the same. It's just shuffling what tags we put on the plants in the facility is really and it will increase the amount of revenue that we can produce because there's a higher number of recreational customers because the customers are choosing to forego becoming medical patients.
Would there be a difference in the tax?
Extremely.
If we can sell the product that we weren't selling because it was classified as medical, then yes, there should be an increase in
So
tax.
the medical marijuana tax is lower than the.
Yes.
5%, yeah. So there should be an incremental increase of the 5% difference between the same products that are going to be moving. So the taxes will go up as well.
Yes.
I have a question, a planning question. So basically, we're talking in this facility about changing people's hats.
Yeah.
We're not talking about hiring more people in at this point or increasing a need for parking or.
So we're in the process of increasing our processing. And to do that, that will add significant amount of jobs and shifts to our facility. But in order to properly do that, we do need these adult use licenses to be able to make those products because the market for the adult use products allow us to increase capacity.
So the square footage remains.
The square
Correct.
footage is going to remain the
Which
same.
means the parking requirement remains the same.
Correct.
All the same. Nothing is changing.
Yes, so I do share or empathize with my colleague regarding the big pharma.
Mhm.
Tentacles that is stretching pretty far and wide, even in the medical marijuana industry. I don't reject with open hand the classification of it's just a label difference. I don't know if the state would categorize it as that,
Mhm.
no more than shacking up and being married. There is a difference. A legal difference.
Correct.
Which carries certain ramifications. So I would classify it as that. And I'm not offended that you would say that. Because I've heard others say that. But what you're applying for is something legally different
Correct.
than medical marijuana.
That is, yes. Absolutely.
Okay. So we are in agreement.
We are in agreement that
All right. You say it will increase jobs.
it will increase jobs. It'll allow us to increase production.
What about profit?
Tax revenue will definitely go up. With the increase of production, the sales, and that just falls in line with it, it follows it. So our revenue goes up, the tax increase goes up.
So basically what you're doing is to stay within the legal umbrella of your activities.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not adding any different square footage. We're not expanding outside our building. We're not going up in any, we're literally we're becoming more efficient. And by doing so, by adding this additional license, we're able to grow more product within our facility within the same scope and blueprint that we originally started with.
You said adding an additional license. I thought you were just simply restructuring how
It is,
the
that
existing
license,
licensing is being.
it is. Additional Class C adult use license
Okay.
versus the medical.
We don't need a new license. We just need to become legal as to what you're doing inside. the
Correct.
facility.
And the CRA, just to let everyone know, the CRA was in our location about a month ago, did a full random audit, found nothing wrong, passed with flying colors. We've had the fire marshal through many times, have had no problems, and we're on point with everything. So we're in well compliance.
Commissioners?
So this is a sheer raw business for profit.
Mhm.
That's how it sounds to me based on what
I just want to be clear.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Mhm.
The facility won't change, product won't change. It's
Product will change.
Well, the allocation of what they're gonna label the product as,
Will change.
volume, yeah.
So just so you're aware too, the state of Michigan just recently came out with a new bulletin that states that any medical product can be transferred immediately to a recreational license without CRA approval. That was a recent law that was just passed by the CRA. So therefore, the CRA is recognizing the importance of adult use moving forward. So that is something that they are now allowing is on the medical side to transfer. We're just, it's cleaner on our end to do less paperwork to have the adult use license rather than doing that through a medical use license. So it's a cleaner, less paperwork for us on our end and more efficient.
My last question, Mr. Chair, is this a item that is a here or there vote for me as the mayor?
Oh, yes.
So if I vote here, then I cannot vote in the city council.
You would be voting twice for the same thing.
So I have to choose.
Yes.
May I? I'm not gonna vote in this part.
Okay.
All right.
We still have a quorum, so thank you, Dr. Meyer. Commissioners?
I'd like to
any
just ask
additional
one more
questions?
question.
And I have one more thing.
Okay. This new grow, do you sell only to your dispensary here in Benton Harbor?
No.
Or will this go out to other dispensaries?
We provide for the state of Michigan. Our products go throughout the entire state, whether it's throughout the entire state. So, and that's what Aaron was speaking about earlier is that we procure products from other places too to bring into our dispensary to our provisioning center to sell. So it's, we've traded with companies, we've done, it's a collaboration. It's a great partnership that we do with other groups. And it's to get the best product in our customers' hands is what it comes down to. So yes, we do.
So there would be no lesser availability for the medical,
Mm-mm,
so that won't change.
not at all.
You're just simply upping your production to meet your current demands.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah, this has nothing, well, it does have something to do, but as I was reading your stuff here, it says that if it was a $500,000 fire damage, the building has to be demolished. What can cause that kind of damage?
I mean, of fire damage I don't know, that's a significant amount of damage.
We have sprinkler systems. We have so much in place. That's
Yeah,
such
we have it's a brand new, well, it's a 2-year-old facility. There's fire mitigation, there's double walls in there that prevents the stuff. We've taken we have hoods for our processing facilities that allow, ventilation to go out. There's major,
So what I'm hearing you say is unlikely.
it's
very,
very highly unlikely.
yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
City clerk. If Commissioner Henry does not vote, will the remaining members constitute a votable quorum?
No. Yes, because we had a resignation. No, because they're still considered a no vote.
I'm sorry.
So no, you still have to have 5.
That's
Yes.
where I'm headed.
Yes.
You have to have 5 voting members or 5 members present.
You have to have 5 affirmative for it to pass.
So if she
So
chooses to
this
vote,
has, excuse me,
I'm
Mr. Chair,
sorry.
this has to be a unanimous vote in order for it to pass. Are you saying 3 commissioners couldn't pass this?
Because it's considered as a quorum of the whole commission, not just who's present.
Got you.
Any other questions? Any other discussion?
I'm gonna leave my vote to, as a commissioner because I wanna look at more avenues than the planning commission can look at. And, so I relieve my vote to this commissioner.
You are a commissioner on both, so which commission are you
This,
referring to?
this commission I will not vote on. I will vote on as a city commissioner.
At this time, I would like to open it up for public comments. Anybody in the public wish to speak?
Unless somebody else want to say something first, I'll wait.
No one has come forth, so you can speak.
Okay. From what I heard today, this should have happened from the start. Because medical marijuana, I always was under the assumption that it was something that I could do to be able to be safe and not worrying about being harassed in some kind of a way. But today it's like, it's all the same. It's always been the same. But that's when I started asking about medical marijuana and trying to get people to vote for it and everything. Everybody up there was totally against it. Not everybody, but 9 out of 10 out of 9 were. So it's always been something to stop it. I couldn't get my medical marijuana for a while for you guys' reasons, not mine, because I really needed it at the time. So to hear you guys say that it's all the same, that's after all this time is not good for me to hear, because and on top of that, I don't see where it's benefiting my community when you say it's all the same, because everybody smokes the same. So what, for growing it, it's not the same as, it's not medical marijuana. So why don't you guys just take that out, that part, since you guys are Xed it out anyway. It's out the medical marijuana part of it, period. Like you should have did from the beginning. And just sell dope. Like everybody else sell dope. Alcohol, weed, whatever. Why don't you just call it what it is and make a way where you can, it'll benefit the citizens. You guys come in here with promises from the very beginning, how you guys would help the community and not at all.
Okay.
I haven't seen it. And I started with this puppy. And I've been watching you guys, and I don't see you guys benefiting anybody but yourselves. And that's it. That's it. Thank you for the time. Thanks for hearing me out.
Are there any additional public comments? Hearing none, I'll close the public portion of this hearing. Any last minute questions? Clarification, Mr. Clerk. Can we move this on to the, so,
No, because you don't have an affirmative vote to move it forward. So it won't even go to the city commission for recommendation.
It's just recusing yourself, we can't even vote. We can't hold a vote. So.
Are we able to bring it back to the planning commission at another time when there will be a quorum? Okay. Okay. Can I reach out?
How do we do
to
that?
you,
Yeah.
Tiffany, to talk
our
with you? Okay.
next meeting will be May the 2nd.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right, appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
At this time, are you going to have more than what we're currently here to begin with? Because if you have two that are gonna say their votes for the commission, you're going to need one more commissioner. Instead of two.
Yesterday, the city commission vacated, no, they accepted the resignation of the resigning.
Yep.
So if there's a possibility we might have another member.
Not by next month's meeting.
Yeah, I was thinking that the legislative committee.
Do you have anything in your drawer?
Nope, I don't have anything for planning commission.
Okay. So okay, thank you. At this time, I would like to close the public hearing for this.
I just have a question, procedure question, not about that, but if we needed to, we could schedule a meeting, another meeting in May, correct?
Yeah, you can hold a
If the timing
special,
lines
yeah,
up
you could
for,
hold a special meeting.
Appointment and a,
Right.
so we're not necessarily ruling out getting something
Yeah,
done.
it just wouldn't happen at the regular meeting.
Right.
Okay,
Thank you. Appreciate that.
thank you.
Madam Clerk,
Yes.
I just want some clarity. You're saying in order for this to move forward, there must be a quorum.
Well, there has to be a quorum to vote anyway,
The
because you would have to have 5 affirmative votes to move it on. Out of 9,
Because we're short. that makes
Yes.
sense. Okay.
yes.
So the site plan review,
It's not all as well.
yes. Will you be?
Site plan review, site plan review is not reviewed by the city commission. So there's no, the city commission doesn't vote on that. So there would only be one vote and that takes place here. So you would be participating in a site plan review. So that gives us back a forum
Yeah,
to take a vote on that
but-
issue.
But
What is the purpose of reviewing the site plan if
you can't do anything.
the special use permit is on hold?
That's, to me, from a personal standpoint, if we only have enough to do a quorum, it causes a disadvantage for the developers. I don't think this project should be held up because of one opinion, but because we only, and I'm not saying anything about your opinion, I'm just saying the general statement. Because we only have this quorum, then you can't go forward. What if somebody came in and want to build a $200 million project? We got the same situation, then where are we? We can't continue to do this. We need people on this board that when we meet, we have at least 6 in case we have a situation like this. Because I'm not for standing in the way of progress of any kind. And if we don't have what we need to do, what needs to be done, then I've got other things I can do with my time. My time is valuable to me. Sitting here wasting time, I don't have the time for that. As you can see, I'm balling, which means I'm getting older. I don't have any time to waste.
I'll address both of the issues that came up, one in the comments at the end, and the other will be when we discuss the attendance requirements. At this time, I'd like to close the public hearing for the special use permit for the 900 El Rico Road properties. We will take a look at these issues when they come up in our next meeting.
Keep again.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to move to agenda items 6C, public hearing for the property identification number 11, 54, 0340, 0151, 0125, known as 133 West Main Street, for a proposed medical clinic and community center. Do we have the applicant?
Mr. Chair, I'm surprised they're not here. They were notified. I'm aware of it.
Well, in the absence of the applicant being able to make a presentation, how say you want to table this till the next meeting?
I would suggest that we table this until we get more commissioners, because personally, I will never vote for this. And I have my reasons.
Table it? Or can we move forward with the application without the applicant?
That's up to the commission.
That's,
Frustrating.
I'm sorry,
This is very frustrating.
it is.
Can I ask a question?
We haven't got to that point yet.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
I would like to make a motion that we take a vote on this, so we're on record saying whatever it is we think we want to say about whether or not to move forward. So I would make the motion that we not move forward without the applicant, so that we can have our questions answered and the applicant can be present to hear the public hearing.
A second, support.
Motion is made by Commissioner Hensel to table it until the applicant is able to make their presentation and we can ask questions. And it was supported by Commissioner Henry. Discussion? Call the roll for the vote, please.
Manager Mitchell,
Yes.
Commissioner Hensel,
Yes?
Commissioner Marshall,
Table. Is this the table? Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
At this time, I'd like to move to agenda item 7, old business monthly absence report. At this time, I have not heard from Commissioner Yarborough. He has not responded to my phone calls, text messages, or me presenting myself in person at his residence. So at this time, I have nothing that I can say except that I've asked the city clerk to mail him a notice indicating that we had voted to have him removed for nonfeasance. The basis was failure to meet the attendance requirements. At this time, he has not responded. I have not heard from him. So I recommended that we've already voted to move this forward to the city commission, requesting that they remove him and declare his seat vacant. So as soon as they can appear on the city commission's agenda, at this time, we're simply waiting for that action. Also, the city commission voted yesterday to accept the resignation of Commissioner Ferguson. So we do have a vacancy, and I would, yeah.
That vacancy will get posted on our website and it will be announced at the legislative meeting on Wednesday.
Okay. Update from Kashiba Craft. He's not here. I did want to indicate that I've gone by that site and I noticed that they have paved lot partially, and they put out rock and they've rolled it out, so the surface appears to be, they meet the requirements for a surface that would not wash away in a rain. Did you have an opportunity to look at it?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair, I did. I went by there, and as you say, they did do what they stated, and it does meet what we need them to do.
Would you recommend that we remove that contingency?
Yes, sir, I do recommend that the contingency be removed.
Can I get a motion for the removal of the contingency for
I make a motion that we remove the consent for
261 Water Street?
Yeah.
Support?
261 Water.
Support. Commissioner Henry made the motion, supported by City Manager Mitchell. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Hensel,
Yes?
Commissioner Henry,
Yes,
Commissioner Marshall,
Yes.
Manager Mitchell,
Yes.
Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
At this time, I would like to give you an update on the master plan. Last month, March 27th, Monday, we had a review of the 50% strategic plan. On our website, that plan is available. You have until April the 14th to add comments, suggestions, or recommendations to that plan. Anyone who is not able to do so can contact their commissioners, letting them know of their desires and wishes for the project. Any other information that you all want to provide concerning that?
I kind of need some clarification from you, Chair. We got the 50-50 draft,
Yes.
which is a pretty large document with a lot of stuff in it because it came from all the information that had been shared. But in the last time he came to meet, he spoke of another document that broke it down into more refined areas that we wanted to look at. And I looked online, I looked for it everywhere and I can't find it.
I'm not sure what other document you would be referring to.
Well, they seem like they compiled a lot of that 50-50 into another document. and I was looking for it, couldn't find it.
Are you asking about what we had in the meeting? Because there is a link on there for that.
Or
You have to go
I'll
down
ask
farther.
Clerk if she can help me
Yeah.
find it. Did you find it, Clerk?
I don't know which one you're talking about.
It's,
Okay.
On the Best Benton Harbor website?
Yes, on the West Benton Harbor website. If you scroll down farther towards the
There's a
bottom,
couple on there.
there's a link for that whole series of bullet points that we were discussing,
Yeah,
the summary. So it is there, you just have to,
dig, and I don't
I'm
dig too
sorry.
good. But I'm gonna ask the clerk if she can dig for me and make me a hard copy.
I have it, but just a moment.
Look at that look on her face. She look like me. I can't find it.
Are we talking about the draft strategic action plan?
I don't know what
That's
it's
the
called.
53, 153 page document, that's,
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
50% plan
Yeah.
draft, the draft strategic action plan.
Right, so if you
Okay.
click on that, and then move down through it. Survey.
that's
No.
the survey.
So I'm not
And
seeing it right
this,
now.
yeah, this is where the feedback gets sent in. This is the advisory committee worksheet that's linked to the
Right, that was it.
strategic action plan.
So weird, I'm not seeing that.
Okay,
I haven't,
It was there.
we'll get with the
yeah, with Paul and-
consultant and find out exactly what's going on. Okay, I'd like to move on to agenda item number 8 for commission comments. Y'all have any comments?
Yeah, I just want to clarify my comment for the record. I said I would never vote for this. Let me give you some background why I feel the way I feel.
Which
Anytime,
vote for, what are we referring to?
Number,
Colwell,
Okay.
anytime a medical facility will let a critically ill patient fall out the bed and lay on the floor for an hour and a half before they find him and then cause him his death life, you think I could support some stuff like that? I'm talking about my son.
oh. But you know what? It's something I had to learn, Commissioner, that this body has only straight guidelines to follow, and it's, you saw me trying to put my humanistic in it, but it's not what comes out of this committee. We have straight guidelines and so we're guided by those guidelines. And just like me, I tried to put my emotion in it, and it's not for this position, it's not for this committee.
If it is.
Were you finished with your comment?
I know what you're talking about,
You
exactly.
finished with your comment? Did you have any comments?
My comment is pretty much along the same lines with all these things. It's so hard to cut down to the decisions on planning and talk about the specific action that we're supposed to do under these ordinances or the statutes. But because there are so many issues that are connected to every one of these decisions. But we do have to set some things aside. And you know, vote based on trying to move things forward, which I know is one of your things, but also it's one of mine, that sometimes I get caught up in that. So I think we all understand it.
City manager, you have any comments?
I have no comments.
Okay. I understand what you both referred to. I lost a family member, taken to the hospital, was allowed to die with people walking back and forth who saw her condition. So I do understand what you're saying. However, there are other people in the community that will need and require medical services. So by placing this clinic in Benton Harbor, they no longer will have to go for certain types of medical treatment to facilities outside of Benton Harbor. The whole intent of this was to do or make some attempt to replace the fact that we lost Mercy Hospital and the pursuing medical services that were being offered before they finally shut down. I have the opportunity to be on the board for this particular facility. And at this time, they offer a whole range of services other than medical. So I really would like for you to, if possible, to see exactly what it is that you would be against. And the whole medical center, Corwell, should not be put in a situation where that the people who can or can't obtain services there. The essence of what I'm attempting to say is that we need a local medical center. And this is the first steps toward trying to bring some type of medical assistance back to Benton Harbor that we have lost with the closing of the Mercy Center. So with that, I have no other comments except for the,
May I ask one other thing?
yes,
Before I vote for that, I resign.
I will not debate with you about your personal concerns. Okay, if there are no other comments, I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn. I get support to adjourn.
Support.
Motion was made by the chairman, supported by the city manager. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Hensel,
Yes?
Commissioner Marshall,
Yes.
Commissioner McGee, City Manager Mitchell,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed, Commissioner Yarbrough, Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I found the link. I'm attempting to send you a copy by email.